We're going to calculate infusion time using a drop set and giving the answer in hours and minutes. So let's have an example here. 900 mils to be infused using a 20 drop set or a 20 given set at the rate of 40 drops per minute. That's our flow rate, usually our final answer. So let's name these elements so we are really clear. The flow rate, the drop set, that is 20 drops in 1 ml. Remember a 1 ml syringe, and you divide that full quantity into 20 equal parts. That's what the 20 drop set and the size of the drop will be. And the 900 mils is the volume. So we can do this calculation using a two-step process here. First thing I would suggest is we always start with what we want to infuse, which is the 900 mils. And then you look around. You have two sets of information. Set A here and set B, the flow rate there. Which one contains the same unit we already have with our volume that we want to infuse? It has to be the drop set because it contains the mils. We want connection with the units. So if you look at the pink flow rate, there is no mils or milliliters in there. So there's no connection between the volume and the flow rate directly, but we have to go via the drop set. So let's write these two bits of information here and probably organize it in a box or like a proportional visual way of seeing it. So the two bits of information that we have, the 20 drops per mil, meaning 1 mil, I'll put the 1 mil here, and the volume of 900 mils. So we need to match the units, so the 900 mils would be sitting here. So it's just a matter of now multiplying those two, but also just a matter of looking and seeing the proportions. One goes up, so we are multiplying. It goes up to 900, we multiply by 900. So same here with the 20 drops, we multiply by 900. Or, of course, if you prefer, you can just look at the box idea, multiply 20 by 900 and divide by the third quantity. So let's see what we get. It will be a very big number. 2 times 9 is 18. And then we have 1, 2, 3 zeros multiplied by 10 and 100 gives us 1,000. 1,800,000 what? That space should have been drops. And this time actually doesn't need to be in blue. We're just going to keep it in gray. So what happened here? We used the volume. It's going to get a bit messy now because I'm going to start crossing things off. So I'm just going to remove this for us here. And I'm going to say that has been used and that has been used. So now we have the 18,000 drops that we're going to have to use in connection with the other piece of information, this B here, because the drops are what we need to connect this time. So we could say, if we wanted to just organize the information, and we can use a formula method as well, the want over have. We want 18,000 and we have 40 drops. But I'll start with the double piece of information, the pink one. So 40 drops per invisible 1 minute. That's the flow rate, the final answer of the flow rate. But now we have to use the 18,000 drops. It can only sit on the top to match with the drops. Same as before, we can look at the proportions here. What happens? 40 goes to 18,000. It's maybe hard to do the calculation in our head, so we can just maybe remember that we multiply these two. So we get 1 times 18,000, which is just 18,000, and divide by that third number. So doing this calculation, the top is the same. You can cancel a few zeros or a couple of zeros straight away, or you do the full calc, 18,000 times 1 divided by 40. So we get 450. Because this is sitting here, the answer has to come out in minutes. 450 minutes. Now, I said we wanted to calculate this in hours and minutes, so we have to check how many lots of 1 hours go into 450, and we know that each lot of 1 hour is 60 minutes. So how many go into that? It's division, isn't it? 450 divided by 60 will give us exactly 7.5. 7.5 hours. Still, we don't want an answer with just hours. We want this 7.5 hours to be broken down. So the full or whole number here, the 7 hours, that's all good. But now we have to deal with this 0.5, which I'm going to make it here in purple. 0.5, which is, we always say 0.5 of an hour. We have already talked about anything of an hour. We are multiplying. It's a fraction or a decimal of an hour, and an hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. So I could do that in my head. 0.5 is the same as half. Half of an hour is 30 minutes, or 0.5 times 60 is also 30 minutes. So our final answer would be 7 hours and 30 minutes.